to Changing Lanes with Nicole. Y'all can tell in my voice, a girl is going through it. I wasn't gonna record, but I was like, if I'm gonna give y'all real Changing Lanes content, it's not all good. It's always not all good. Sometimes it's exhausting and causes fatigue, as I was just talking with my financial coach in my accountability group. The topic was about being financially fatigued. And that is I. I just wanted to come on here honestly and talk about learning how to budget in your 40s. It is no joke. I mean, it's kind of crazy because I met my financial coach in a Facebook group that we were in. And it was a Facebook group that we were in about profiting on your gifts, or making profit off of the things that you were called to do, how to make money off of them. And it was interesting, all the stuff people came to do. I mean, people were literally making profit off of. And some people had degrees in the stuff, and some people didn't. They just had experience. But I met her because she actually does have a degree in finance. She has her master's, and she works for University of Alabama. One of them colleges in Alabama. So that's how I met her, and she has been coaching / mentoring / my friend for the probably last 4 years. I think it's been, we remembered. But I just got off my accountability group with her, which it's a handful of us in there, and she goes over a topic every time. Shout out to PUFC financial coaching, just in case, shameless plug for her, because she's really good. And it's Bible is the foundation, but she does not thump the Bible over you. It's just the principles, and the root of it is Bible, on how she teaches you how to get financial wealth, freedom. I don't know the word, the words people use these days, but how to steward your money well, pretty much, in God's way. So honestly, I've just now, in these last years since she's been my coach, have learning how to budget in my 40s. Let me tell you, one of the things, I'm just talking now, but one of the things that threw me was I worked for a company for 16 years. From 22 until I was 38. Was it 16 years? Something like that. And I did not have a 401k. I knew nothing about it. I didn't understand. It wasn't like another company I work for now that I moved here, because I actually worked for that company for the other company in Ohio for 15 years. And then when I moved here, it actually just transferred. And then I have the job I have now, which is a different company. And when I got to this job, I got a 401k. They told me all about it. I got information, all kind of things. And of course, when you're 38 getting information, you read stuff different than when you're 22. Like, I'm going to be at this job for a year or two, and then I'm leaving. And then turn around and you're there 16 years. But yeah, it's just like what I could have saved in 16 years. And it's not really like regret per se. It's just like the stuff I didn't know. It is just mind-boggling to me, the stuff I didn't know. So now, budgeting after 40, learning how to budget after 40 is a doozy. And she has been working with me for 4 years, and we have like been back and forth on tidbits on what works for me. There was one point she had made me spreadsheets. There was one point she sent me a book that she had created, a budget book for me. Then we went to YNAB. I don't know if you guys know that you need a budget. We did that app. Then that was too busy for me. So then then she did another spreadsheet, I think no, she didn't do a spreadsheet. I was doing it in my own book. And then she came up with a spreadsheet for our accountability group, because I have an accountability group that I'm in of hers. And then I get private coaching. And then she did another one for the accountability group that I used for probably, I don't know, 6 months to a year. And now my last coaching class session with her, we talked about, she's like, you think you're ready to go back to YNAB? And of course, that's because I don't have to chart everything myself. I say chart, that's medical terms, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to keep up with my account in the sense of marking everything. Like, okay, this came out this time, this came out this day, this came out this day, versus it being connected to YNAB where it does it itself. I just have to approve, like, yes, that goes in, it comes out, and then it sends me an alert, like, this much came out from Fred Meyer, and then I'd select what category to take it out. So I'll do like groceries or medication or whatever, and then it pulls it out. So I don't have to keep up, I don't have to actually enter that's what I'm trying to say. I don't have to actually enter every transaction. But yeah, this budgeting after 40 is quite the doozy. Right now, I am in You Need a Budget on my computer. I don't want to show all my information and stuff, but yeah, there we go. But yeah, it's just like, so yeah. So it's just me going through that, you know, and every time I get on my accountability group, I go open up my laptop and start making sure everything's updated, because that's kind of a clue to me that it's time to check. Pull out the calculator, pull out my scrapbook that I keep all that information in. But yeah, budgeting after 40 is so hard. Like, I wish I would have known this stuff earlier. And I know I can't like dwell on it or anything, but it's just like in 43, if I would have known this stuff 20 years ago, it would have just been, not necessarily saying I would have used it, but it would have been, you know, really nice to know. And now my son is 13. I'm trying to teach him slowly without overwhelming him, because he's only 13, and making things so intense at 13 and letting him just be a kid, but still teaching him, you know. So, but yeah, it's a doozy. I actually have come to find out I have to have 3 bank accounts for myself. I have one that only my bills come out of. I have and they're all credit unions. One my bills come out of, one is my savings, and then the other one is the normal day-to-day stuff coming out: groceries, gas, my son's haircut, his allowance, back to school. Yeah, so stuff like that comes out of the other account. So I have starting one debit card for my savings because it's all the way back in Ohio. I actually froze it. Like, no joke. I froze the debit card. And it was actually my coach's idea. I done this one other time and then I unfroze it because she said pretty much if you unfreeze it, it's because you really need it. But if you really don't need it, you're not going to waste the time to unfreeze it. Don't you talk about me. But it works. And it's that serious for me that I had to freeze that debit card. My one for my bills, I would freeze. But I had not froze that one. But no joke. It's right there. And don't y'all laugh at me. It's in this one right here. Literally. But it works. I don't use it. My savings keep saving. And unfortunately, that's how I had to discipline myself, was put my debit card in the freezer. Judge me if you want, but my savings is growing. What else do I do? Oh, and then I do have my other cards that are saving. So I have a savings account for each one of those checking accounts that I have for my credit union. And those I save, like one of the savings is for car maintenance, my tags for my car, for my Norton security. So I just save up dollars every month for those. So by the time that year come around for me to pay those again, I have a lump sum of money that's towards each one of those things. So even if it's like, if I save in like $5 a paycheck for my tags next year, by the time next year come, all that money would be in my account and I keep track. She has a savings tracker and I will know. So if I have $1,000 in my savings, in one of my account savings, that's for all those things, it'll be like, okay, $150 is for your tax. $350 is for youth camp. You have $600 saved right now for any car maintenance. So that's what it shows. So when I do that, I don't just have a lump sum of money in savings. Or like I have another account, like my account that all my random stuff come out, like my gas, my groceries, my son's haircut or whatever. When those things come out, that account that those things come out of, the savings for that same account is for the cruise I'm going on, for vacation. It's also for vacation for next year. It's for Christmas. It's for my son's birthday, my mom's birthday, Mother's Day. And in my savings tracker, there is spaces for when I'm like, okay, $5, put this in my savings tracker. That $5 is going towards Mother's Day next year. Or this $10 is going towards Cameron's birthday, which is my son. Or $15 of this paycheck is going towards my own birthday. So that's how I do that. My other major savings account is for like emergency fund. So I get it to a funded amount and then I change how much I want that to get to. So I increase it as I can go. So yeah, it's pretty crazy budgeting after 40. It's just like, man, if I had a 10-year jump start, head start or whatever, But I'm happy I'm doing it now because I know some people learned much later. Um, it's just interesting to thinking how much I could have had in retirement. And just thinking how much I have now, 6 years at the job I'm at, times 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I made in retirement now, but times it by 3. And back in the early 2000s, you know, jobs was matching up to whatever you match. It wasn't even a cutoff. They like, if you was matching, if you were putting in this much, they was gonna match it. Boom, boom, boom. Now it's like they'll match, you know, a lot of companies, like they'll match half of what you put in, or only, they'll match what you put in, but only up to 3% or whatever that is. So it's interesting how much I could have saved just from it being back then when, you know, companies would match whatever you put in. But I'm not complaining because I'm learning. Of course, like I said, my coach has been such a blessing. A lot of bad habits I had to learn. Some I'm still learning. But yeah, if y'all don't budget, I know it sounds like a cuss word. You know, budget sounds like a cuss word, but it's not. We gotta be out here doing this. Even like me dreaming to buy a house. Before, it was never a thing. I was just like, you know, that's just not a thing, you know. And now I'm learning how to budget, and my account's never in the negative anymore. And, you know, my rent is always on time now, or it's ahead of time, or I'm prepared more. I'm still struggling with that, but I'm more prepared for things that come out of, that are unexpected, that come up because I'm saving. But it's just mind-boggling. Like, now I desire to have a house, and to think maybe before I didn't desire it because it seemed unconsciously unattainable. I'm not buying a house now or anything, but like now it's like, wow. Like now it's a desire. Now it seems reachable. So I'm just super grateful that I have her, and she's shown me so many things. I just thank God for her. I thank God for, it's so funny. I just love God because literally I got on here kind of in dumps. You know, not that our accountability call was in dumps. It was actually very encouraging, and I didn't realize how encouraging it just was because I got onto the call just kind of fatigued about finances. But I'm actually really encouraged. I'm really encouraged. Just even talking on this video, where I've come. Like sometimes you forget how far you've come, and I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. I can do this. And I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing. But any of you all that's like in your 40s and you're like, or late 30s, whichever, 50s, 60s, whatever, learn a budget. It's not a, but the word budget can sometimes feel like makes you feel limited. But it actually is a very freeing, like, to pay attention to where your money going, the money that you're earning, that you work hard for, to pay attention to it, to steward what God has given you and steward it well. Like one of my biggest things when I started working with her was I wanted to be able to, and this is not about what anybody believes or whatever, or it's crazy or whatever. This is my belief that I always wanted to be able to tithe my actual income. You know, before I would like tithe whenever, or I would just do offering $5, a couple dollars, or I would just tithe a certain amount. And it's just one of those desires I've always had was to tithe without feeling the pain. Now, in the beginning, it was painful, but it's such a freeing, and I enjoy it. There is a joy and a peace about tithing. I don't attach it to where the church is putting it or anything. I just know God knows my heart. God knows that I'm tithing it, and where it goes is none of my business. I know a lot of people don't believe that and are like, what? But it's not. My intention is to give it to the house of God. And the people, if they misuse it or wherever or whatever happens, no matter what church it is, where I give, that's not me. That's not on me. That's on them. So, but it's a great feeling, because that was one of my biggest things, was to be able to tithe my actual 10%. The other thing was to pay my rent on time. And I had struggles, especially, moving from Ohio to here. It's a lot more expensive here. And I was making more. I mean, it is more expensive, but it wasn't that. It was me like looking back, like I said my friend, because she is my friend too, but my coach, she was like, look at your account. You can tell where your treasures are, your treasures, by looking into where the money going from your account. And a lot of mine was going to eating out. It was, a ton of it was going to eating out. So, and a couple of weeks ago, God just gave me the revelation, like, you eat, and my therapist, you eat to feel like you're in control. That's why you order, and then after you order and you eat it, you feel bad again. And it was literally because God showed me the biggest revelation was you're actually losing control. And I don't know if I said this on another video. I feel like I did, one of my walking videos. But you're actually losing control when you do the opposite of what your heart desires or the goal you set out. Sorry, I got all this glare in my glasses. It's not my computer. Oh, it's outside. But yeah, so I lose control when I'm doing the opposite of what I desire and the opposite of what my goals are. And so when I eat out or order out of not just this, whatever we're doing, but more so of, oh, woe is me, then that is me losing control. And it's a deception. It's deceiving. That I'm losing control. I gotta do something I feel like I can control, but that's actually deceiving. I'm actually losing control when I do the opposite of what my heart desires and what my goals are. So that's one thing I've been that's really been, getting me together in a clutch when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just order some food. Oh, I'm gonna just order some food. And I'm like, why are you ordering the food? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm trying to be. And usually if it's just because I'm hungry and there's nothing here, like today, my son had someone sleep over, one of his friends stay over. And usually my son's at camp, in the mornings, but he didn't go today, so his friend could spend the night. So I didn't have breakfast stuff here. I mean, I did have breakfast stuff, but I didn't have like lunch stuff here. I didn't order lunch stuff for groceries last week because I'm like, he gonna be gone every day for lunch. And I know me, I'll make a bean burrito in a heartbeat and be good. or drink a protein shake. So I didn't have that stuff. So they had nothing here to eat. In that sense, I was working, so I couldn't cook. And they didn't have stuff here that he could cook. Everything was pretty much stuff you had to actually cook. And so I was going to order them some food off of one of the apps. And then I was like, no. So I had to think about it. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to order off the app. So I was like, I'll order it off the app, off the actual restaurant's app, and I'll actually go pick it up during my lunchtime, which saves, like, nowadays, I don't get a delivery fee, but all these, like, fees and their service fee and then the tax and all other fees they put on there, you end up saving $8 to $10 just on the fees. And then the food is cheaper if you don't order it off the food apps. Like if you don't order off like Uber or Grubhub or whatever, it's even cheaper if you don't order off it. So literally, I think the order came to like almost $49 off the app. But when I ordered it on the actual restaurant's app and went and got it, it was only $25 or 20 something dollars. But it was like at least a $15 difference. So I knew then it was based off of me wanting to feed them, because they were in here eating popcorn, potato chips, and I was like, they need some actual food to eat. So I went and picked up the food versus ordering it off the one of the delivery apps. So I'm learning a lot, and it's a lot. Now I'm trying to learn. I'm going to start taking home buying classes. Now, I don't know if my goal is to buy next year, so I don't have to renew this lease again. But, we'll see where I am by then, or I'll say we'll see where I am by January and see if that's still a goal for next year. But I really prefer not to lease this place out again. But I mean, if I did, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I like the place. It's nice location or whatever. But now, I'm having a desire to buy. So hopefully the market and everything by then would be in good shape. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to ramble on about like learning how to do this stuff in your 40s. It's, something. It's quite interesting. And then trying to teach your son, and you barely know, but he sees me on my calls with her. He'll tell me like, Mom, aren't you supposed to be on your call? Aren't you supposed to be on your call today? So he sees me. So, I'm teaching him and I don't even know it because he sees me. So, but I definitely probably do more videos. Probably I will, about my financial journey, of not just getting out of debt, but getting financial wealth, not just getting out of debt, but having financial, having, I don't know if financial wealth is the word. That sounds kind of, but, oh yeah, I think it is. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have more videos about my journey through this and through my 40s, having unnecessary debt. Because if I buy a house, that's still debt, even though it's an investment. I have unnecessary debt right now. So we are working through that slowly but surely. I've gotten rid of 2 this year, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I'm working on now. 2 of them are under 1,000. A couple of them are under 4 now, and 1 is under 2. So yeah. So I'll be keeping, and maybe I'll just do it. Maybe I'll do a video or something of just the tips I use, that literally just be tips and not me rambling about about my my journey, but just kind of giving tips that I use, not as an expert clearly, but as somebody literally in the trenches. So, and being over 40 doing it. So yeah, with a child. So but yeah, thanks for watching. And budget, it is not a cuss word, it is actually freedom. All right, this